Hi, welcome back. So now I'm going to talk to you about where to access all of the assets that you're going to need in order to create your design. So before we actually get into the design portion, you need to be able to find all of the photos, the logos, and just make sure that you have the right brand guidelines and understand what those mean. So I'm going to show you how to access all of that information through your My RCC portal. So if you just go to My RCC, and then hit Administrative, then the third to last option is going to be Strategic Marketing. So after you click that, you're going to go to Graphics Resources. And you'll see a few really awesome templates. So if you're a real beginner and you just want to use Word, these are a few templates that you can use. There's also some instructions on how to access free images through Google. Because if you're just to search through Google and select one of their images, they might be copywritten, and we don't want to get any kind of lawsuits around here. So it's best to avoid that. But today we're going to be making something that's very RCC. So we're going to need some RCC photos. So if you go down to the bottom, you'll see images on RCC Flickr site. I want you to click that. That's going to take you to this page on Flickr where we house all of the photos for the last couple of years. And if you hit photo stream, which is right here, then go to the search icon, you can now search through the photos in order to find what you need. So I'll show you how to use that later, but just so that you know how to quickly go through that. So go back to My RCC. The next thing we're going to do is find the logos. So on that same Graphics Resources tab, at the bottom under Other Resources, you're going to hit RCC Logos. So before this, I actually created a folder just for today, and I'll leave that up here. It's going to be Getting Started Logo. So you're going to click that. This is going to have all of the logos that you really need. It's the white version so that if you're going to be using it on a dark background, you can use those. And the color version, so if you're going to be using it on a white background or a light background, you can use those. So what you're going to do is hit this little arrow that's pointed down under Getting Started Logos and then hit Download. And that will zip a file and put it into your Downloads folder. So all you'll need to do after it downloads is double click it, and it should open up and expand into a separate folder with all 4 logos in it. You can also select them all and right click and go down to Downloads as well. That's another way of doing it. So now you have photos and the logos. The last thing you need is the brand guidelines. So in the first tab under Strategic Marketing, you're going to see brand guidelines. So right here, you're going to see a highlighted and underlined option. So this is our brand guidelines. I want you to go ahead and hit these ... in the upper right-hand corner, and then you're going to hit Download. So now those are also saved to your Downloads folder, but you can access them at any time if you lose them on your My RCC portal. So on the brand guidelines, you're going to see a few things. You're going to see how to use the logos that you had just downloaded. So the white logos are going to be used on dark backgrounds, and the color logos are going to be used on the light backgrounds so that you can create contrast and it's easier to read those things. The next thing you're going to see is our fonts. So the website that I'm going to show you, canva.com, in the next video, you don't need to download these fonts in order to use that website. They already have it on there. But if you're going to use it in Word, or if you're going to use it in Illustrator, InDesign, anything like that, you'll need to download those fonts in order to use them. So these websites, it's free to use, free to download, so you can download those fonts at any time. Our primary font is Oswald, so that's going to be, primary would mean any of the large titles that are going to be on your designs, and the secondary font is Laura. So Laura is going to be on all of like the subtitles and descriptions. The Laura font is easier to read. You might see something like that in books, that type of font, a serif font. So we usually use those more easy to read fonts for large groups of text. And then the primary font, Oswald, is a very bold, big, dynamic font that will grab your attention. So that's used for titles. Then you'll see the colors. So our primary color is green. That's the RCC green. And then the secondary color is gold. So that's an accent color. And then the tertiary color is gray. So that would be any large groups of text, things like that. So for most of your use when it comes to the colors, you're going to be using this hex code, also known as a web color code. And you'll just highlight those and go to copy, and you can paste them in any area that you want. The CMYK and the RGB, some of your printers might ask for that, or a real designer who's using a advanced program would probably need those. Because you're a beginner designer, you're going to be using the hex code today on canva.com. So now you have everything that you need in order to create the design. You have it all in your downloads files. I do recommend maybe making a folder on your desktop and dragging it all into there. That way, anytime that you need to design something, you know exactly where to go. It's all right there for you. So stay tuned, create a login for canva.com, and I'll see you in the next video.